Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Hope everybody is doing amazingly well. Welcome back to another lesson of English with Ashish. And guys, in today's lesson we're going to talk about a very important topic, that is determiners. So today we'll talk about what exactly a determiner is, different types of determiners in English, right? How to use them, when to use them, and a lot of important and interesting things about them. So the lesson is going to be very informative. It's going to be detailed, the most detailed lesson available on the internet. I promise you that. For that, you have to watch it until the end. It's going to be a little long as well. So make sure you have a cup of coffee, tea, some snacks, throw some snacks in as well, and watch the lesson until the end. Enjoy the lesson. And I'm excited as always. I know you guys are too. Let's do it. Alright everybody, let's start with understanding what exactly a determiner is and how to use it in a sentence. I just want you guys to look at the word determiner. Determiner, determine, determiner. So it is a word that determines the meaning of a noun, right? So a determiner is a word. It is generally a word. It can be a group of words. It can be, but it's generally a word, right? So understand this. It is generally a word that sits right before a noun. It comes right before a noun generally, right? You can have an adjective between a determiner and a noun as well. I'll show you that as well. So it generally comes before a noun in a noun phrase and gives information about that particular noun. Generally about its possession or its number. So the kind of information it gives about the noun it modifies is about its number or possession. Can be some other types of information as well. We'll talk about it going forward, right? And also note, if you have a singular countable noun in a sentence, if you have a singular countable noun which is one in number and can be counted, like cat, dog, teacher, right, school. So if you have a singular countable noun, a noun which is one in number and can be counted, you must use a determiner before it. You have to use a determiner before it. This is something you have to understand. All right, now I said it comes before a noun, like in the beginning of a noun phrase, and modifies the noun. It comes before, right. Now you can also have an adjective between the determiner and the noun. So the first structure is, first comes the determiner and then the noun, and there you have a noun phrase. This is a noun phrase, but you can also have an adjective sitting between the determiner and the noun. All right, now let's take some examples and have a rough idea of how they work in a sentence. Okay, example number one: the party was amazing, we had a lot of fun. The party was amazing, we had a lot of fun. So the is a determiner, party is the noun. The party is a noun phrase working as the subject of the sentence. All right, so party is the head word, is the noun. The is a modifier, a determiner, right, giving information about the noun party. Now it's making the noun party specific. Both the speaker, I, and the listener, you, know which party I'm talking about. So let's suppose you and I went to a party last night, and we did a lot of things. We danced, we sang, we ate a lot of amazing things, right? We talked to a lot of crazy people. So we did a lot of fun things, all right? So today, let's suppose we're sitting with our friends and we're talking about that party. And I say, the party was amazing. Hey Rahul, the party was amazing, man. We had a lot of fun. Now, which party am I talking about? And if you haven't been to a party lately, and I say the party was amazing, would you know which party I'm talking about? No, you won't, right? You won't know. Since you know which party I'm talking about, and we recently went to a party, you know which party I'm referring to. You have the context, you have enough information to decipher which party I'm talking about. So that is used to talk about a noun, to refer to a noun which both the speaker and the listener already know, are aware of. So the party was amazing, we had a lot of fun. If the party is not specific, we can't use the. All right, so that is That is a determiner here. Second example, we were in awe of his house. It was luxurious. We were in awe of his house. So his house is a noun phrase, right? Working as the object of the preposition of what? His house. So here in this noun phrase, house is the noun and his is a determiner that's giving information about the noun house. It is again determining the meaning of the word house, making it specific, not any house in the world, house that he owns. Okay, so it's giving information about it. So every type of determiner will give some different type of information about the noun it determines or modifies. Okay, and all determiners, all types of determiners are basically adjectives. Since they modify a noun, we can safely call them adjectives. Just give me a second. All right, sweet. Third example, look at that building. This is where Ron lives. Look at that building. So that building is a noun phrase, the object of the preposition look at what that building. Building is the noun that is a determiner, demonstrative adjective. All right, look at what that building. So it's talking about its number, the number of the noun, which is one building, and it's talking about its vicinity, how close the building is from the speaker. It's quite far away from the speaker. Look at that building. All right, so it is again giving information about the noun building coming in the beginning of the noun phrase, that building, right? We can also say that beautiful building. So I want you to understand this, right? I want you to understand everything about it. That beautiful building, we can say, right? But it is still referring to the noun building. Just because we have an adjective sitting in the middle of these words, it doesn't mean that is modifying the adjective beautiful. No, that is not what's happening here. That is referring to the noun building. So you can have an adjective between the determiner and the noun. All right, you can have that. I just showed you that. You can say we were in awe of his amazing house, of his huge house. We can say that, huge house, right? So we can use an adjective after a determiner. We can definitely do that. We can safely, positively do that. Okay, so now we know what a determiner is. We don't know all different types of determiners. We haven't talked about it. We will going forward, but we do have a rough idea what determiners are and what they do. They give information about a noun, right? They come in the beginning of a noun phrase and modifies a noun, right? The head word, and give some sort of information about them. Okay. All right. Let me show you all different types of determiners. So we have 5 types of determiners. Based on how they modify a noun, what kind of information they give about a noun in a sentence, in a noun phrase, we divide them in 5 different categories. Number 1, articles. These are very, very important and these are very common as well. You use them all the time. Number 2, possessive adjectives, right? So articles include a and the. Possessive adjectives, my, your, his, her, their, our, its. 7 possessive adjectives we have in the English language. The third is demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives, right? This, that, these, those. Only 4 demonstrative adjectives we have in the English language. Fourth is distributive adjectives. This includes each, every, either, neither, any, both. Apart from these words, we have some other distributive adjectives as well, but these are the most common, these are the most used distributive adjectives we have in English. All right, so there we go. The last is quantifiers. All right, and the most common quantifiers are some, many, a few, the few, a lot of, several. All right, these are the most common, most used quantifiers we have in the English language. Okay, so we'll start with the very first one, that is articles. Right, now we have 2 types of articles, definite articles and indefinite article. All right, so articles basically generalize or specify a noun, right? They either specify a noun, makes it they make it specific, they make the noun specific, or they generalize a noun, right? They make it common, they don't make it specific. All right, so based on what they do, we divide them into 2 categories: definite articles definite article because there is just one definite article. Let's just call it definite article, which is the, and indefinite articles, which are a and an. Okay. So let's talk about them separately. All right. I'm going to go very slow. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to talk about everything. So the lesson is going to be a little long. All right. So make sure you do your thing, right? You have water, you go to the loo, you do whatever you want to do, you pause the lesson if you want to do something, all right, but watch the lesson until the end. This is very, very important. Do not save it for later. Do not do that. Watch the entire lesson in one go and you'll master this. All right, so let's start with the very first one, which is definite article. That is the. All right, so the definite article makes the noun, it modifies specific. It lets us know which noun the speaker is referring to, and it is used when both the speaker and the listener know which noun the speaker is referring to, right? Or you can have some information after the noun and make it specific. So even if the listener doesn't know the noun you're referring to, you can have some information, some essential information, and make the noun specific. I'll show you how to do that as well. So understand this: definite article, the is used to make a noun specific. It helps us identify the noun the speaker refers to in a sentence. This is very, very important to understand. It helps us identify the noun the speaker refers to in a sentence. All right, let's have some examples. Did you like the book? We loved it. Did you like the book? We loved it. So let's suppose last week we went to a place. We went to a book museum. Let's just call it a book museum. All right, so we went to a book museum and we all bought one particular book. All right, and when we were coming back to our place, we said we're gonna finish this book in 1 week or 5 days, and it's been a week, and today we're meeting and we're going to talk about the book. All right, or we're going to talk about multiple things, and we're just sitting, and I say, I'm talking to you, you are a part of the group and you were there, you also bought the book, and I say, hey, did you like the book? We loved it. Did you like the book? Obviously you know which book I'm talking about. You don't have a lot of books, and that is the book we bought together. That is the book we both are aware of, so it's referring to that particular book. All right, so the is used here in this noun phrase, the book, to make this noun book specific. It is telling us that both the speaker and the listener know which noun the speaker is referring to. All right, it's not any random book, it is the book that we bought at the book museum. All right, did you like the book? We loved it. Example number 2, why didn't you come? Okay, this is not a complete sentence. Why didn't you come to the party? Okay, let's just correct it. Give me a second, guys. Why didn't you come to the party? We all were waiting for you. So let's suppose there was a party yesterday, and I was invited to the party, you were invited to the party, and a couple of our friends were also invited to the party. All right, so I reached on time, our friends also reached on time, and you didn't come. All right, and you just didn't come to the party. So today we all come together and we're talking about what happened at the party, and we're saying, hey, why didn't you come to the party? What is your reason? Why didn't you come to the party? We're talking about a particular party. You know which party I'm talking about. Since you do, I'm using the adjective the. Okay. Let's suppose you were not invited to the party. You don't know about any party. You don't even know whether there was any party or not. So if I say, in this case, you do not have any idea about any party that happened, you were not invited to any party, you don't know we went to a party. In this case, if I say, why didn't you come to the party, or were you invited to the party? This is an incorrect usage of this word, because you don't know which party I'm talking about. You don't have the context, you don't have the information, right? But here, since both the speaker, which is me, and the listener, which is you, know which party the speaker is referring to, we're using the definite article the. All right. Third example, pass me the book that is black in color. Now, in the first two examples, both the speaker and the listener knew which noun the speaker is referring to. All right. Here in the third example, the listener doesn't know which noun you're referring to. Here, the speaker is giving information. After the noun, the speaker is giving information to make the noun specific. If I simply say, pass me the book, let's suppose we are sitting, all right, we are in a room, right? I'm sitting on a chair, you're also sitting on a chair, and before you, there is a table, and it has a lot of books on it, all right? So if I say, pass me the book, now since the table has a lot of books on it, you wouldn't know which book I'm talking about. You wouldn't, right? So I have to give some essential information to make the noun specific and let you know which exactly which book I'm referring to, which exact book I'm referring to. So I'm saying, pass me the book. I cannot end the sentence here. If you already knew the book that I'm talking about, I'm referring to, I wouldn't have to use any modifier after it. I wouldn't have to use any information after it. But since you do not know the book, I will have to give you some essential information in order to identify the book that I'm referring to, I'm talking about. All right. So pass me the book that is black in color. So let's suppose, right, there are 5 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is red in color, this is black in color, this is blue in color, this is yellow, and this is orange. Right? So it has 5 books on it. So I say, pass me the book. Which book? That is black in color. This is the book I'm talking about. So now you know which book, which noun I'm talking about. Since you do, we're using the adjective the. All right. And this entire thing is the noun phrase. The book that is black in color. It has a pre-modifier determiner, which is the, and it has an adjective clause that is black in color. All right. So the book that is black in color. All right. The book. I'm talking about a specific book. That is why I'm using the. Okay. Alrighty. That's how we use the definite article the. Okay. This is a grammatical usage of the definite article. Apart from this usage, it has some other fixed usages as well. Like before some newspapers, we use the. Before the names of holy books, we use the. Before some countries, names of countries, we use the. Before some places, we use the, right? So these are some fixed usages. We'll cover these usages in some other video. All right. Okay. We have some other examples as well. You can just go through them. What are you going to do with the money? We're talking about particular money. All right. Like let's suppose last night you won a lottery, right? We're talking about that money. That's a lot of money. We already know, both the speaker and the listener know which money we're talking about. The mailman is waiting for you at the main gate. The mailman, all right, I'm waiting for a mailman to come and pass me right, or deliver me the package, right? So I'm talking about that mailman, the person who called you in the morning, right? And you knew, or you know, that somebody is going to come to you and give you the package, and you already had a word with the person. So I'm talking about that person. The mailman is waiting for you. Where? At the main gate. At the main gate, right? There are multiple gates. I'm talking about the main gate. It is just one gate, and I'm referring to it using the adjective the. So here, this is the noun phrase. Okay, the mailman, working as the subject. Mailman is the noun. The is a determiner, definite article. Here, the is a determiner. Main is an adjective. Gate is the noun. Okay, this is the object of the preposition at. We loved the party. The party. We're talking about a particular party. It was one of the best parties I have been to. All right. Did the teacher say anything after I left? So let's suppose yesterday we were in a class and I had a scuffle with my teacher, with a particular teacher. You all were there and you saw what happened, and I had to leave. So I'm saying, did the teacher say anything after I left? Like, did the teacher, that particular teacher, you know which teacher I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any random teacher in the world. I'm talking about the teacher that was there in the class and the teacher that I had a scuffle with. All right. Did the teacher, that particular teacher, say anything about say anything after I left? Right. So since we both know which person I'm talking about, which teacher I'm talking about, I'm using the definite article the. So I hope that now you know how to use the definite article the. But if you do not, uh, if like you know that the other person do not know which noun you're talking about, or you yourself do not want to specify it, just use are or n. All right. I know a teacher. I know a teacher who can help you. Right. Who can help you. Do you know a teacher who can teach me? Or do you know a teacher who can teach me math? Who can come to my place? Let's say who can come to my place and teach me, come to my place, right? I'm not talking about a particular teacher, any teacher in the world. It can be a male, it can be female, it can be Indian, it can be American, whatever. I don't know. So it is not specific. So if the noun is not specific, don't use the. Do not use the. You can use indefinite articles, you can use other types of determiners as well, but do not use the. All right. I hope this is clear. Now, the next type of articles is indefinite articles, and these are a and n, and they basically mean one. Okay, just give me a second. All right, guys. An indefinite, my bad, article refers to a singular countable noun that is not specific. It is very, very simple. Now understand this. It is used before a singular countable noun. Singular countable noun. If you want to say one something, one noun, just use are or n. Now, how to do that? When to use are, when to use n, we'll talk about that as well. Now, so if you have a singular countable noun, you can use an article before it. If you want to say one, that noun, right, and that noun is not specific. Okay. But if the noun is plural, if the noun is plural or uncountable, you cannot use are or n before that. You just cannot do that. Okay. So you cannot say, let me give you some examples. You cannot say our money, give me our money. I have a love for you. You cannot say that, right? You cannot say our people. You cannot say that. So we cannot use it before plural nouns or uncountable nouns. We cannot do that. This is something that we have to understand right here. Okay. Now, when to use are and when to use n. So, are is used before a word whose sound of the first letter is a consonant. Consonant. Okay. Is it correct? Consonant. Yes, I think it's correct. And n is used before a word whose sound of the first letter, I'm repeating myself again, whose sound of the first letter, whose sound of the first letter is a vowel. All right. We're not just looking at the word, looking at the first letter of the word that it's coming before. We're focusing on the sound of the first letter. If the sound of that first letter is a consonant sound, we'll use R before it, right, to mean one, to mean one and unspecific. If the sound is a vowel sound, we'll use N, which will also mean one and unspecific. Okay. And we know what vowels are. We don't have to talk about that. And if we do understand, we're in trouble. Okay. So let's take some examples and understand this. One, I need a room. I need a room. Could you help me get it? I need what? A room. Any room in the world. It has to be one in number. One in number, and it can be any room. This is not a particular room that I'm referring to. It can be any room in the world, bro. Just get me a room. One room. A room meaning one room. Any room in the world. It can be in India. It can be in Pakistan. Obviously, I'm referring to a particular place. You would know that with some context, right? But it's not a specific room. It doesn't have any information about it. Like, it's not your particular room. Like, I'm not referring to a particular room. Understand this. It is any room. You do not have any idea about this room. Our room. Okay. So room is the noun. I is an indefinite article. So the first letter has a consonant sound. The first letter of this word, room, has a consonant. R, ra, ra, ra. Ra is not a vowel. All right. So I need a room. I can also say I need a big room. Now, if you use an adjective after the article or between the article and the noun, then you'll follow the sound of the first letter of the adjective, not the noun. This is very, very important to understand. So you'll say a big room because now you're following the sound of the first letter of the word of the adjective big. B, a big room, a huge room. All right. But if the sound of the first letter of the adjective is a vowel, you'll not use a. An expensive room. An expensive room. It is still referring to the noun room, right? It is still referring to the noun room, but we're using a or n based on the sound that is coming, the sound of the first letter of the adjective, not the noun. This is really, really important to know. Okay. All right. Let's remove this. So I need a room, working as the object of the verb need. Need what? A room. Do you have an extra pen? Do you have an extra pen? So pen is the noun and p is not a vowel sound, all right? But we are still using n before it because we're following the sound of the first letter of the adjective, not the noun, okay? Do you have an extra pen? Extra, is a vowel, right? Vowel, right? So since it's giving a vowel sound, we are using n. Do you have an extra pen? Do you have a big pen? If we say big pen, then we'll use a. All right, a big, b. Okay. Third, I am feeling bored. Let's go and watch a movie. Let's go and watch a movie. A movie. All right. An extra pen. Any which is extra. Any pen that is extra. Let's go and watch a movie. Any movie. First of all, it is just one movie. I'm not going to watch multiple movies. One movie, and it can be any movie. It can be a Hindi movie, English movie, whatever, right? I don't have a particular movie in my mind. If I had one, I would say that movie. Hey, let's go and watch the movie. And if you do not know which movie I'm talking about, I'll say, hey, let's go and watch the movie that we talked about the other day. All right, or I'll use some essential information to make the noun specific. Call an ambulance right now. He is hit by a car. All right, call an ambulance right now. He is hit by a car, or he has been hit by a car. Okay, so a car, any car which is one in number, any car which is one in number, and we're following the sound of the first letter, which is C. Ka. Ka is not a vowel. All right, this is how we use indefinite articles a, n, n. Now we can also give some information about the noun using some modifiers, using some prepositional phrases, adjective clauses after the noun. But that particular noun will still remain unspecific. Obviously, you will have more information about it, but that will not become specific. If you want to make it specific, you can make it specific, but it depends on the information you give about it. Okay. So we can use post modifiers after the noun to limit the meaning of the noun, but it will still remain generic. It will still remain unspecific or generic. Okay. So I want to hire a teacher. Let's end the sentence here. Case number one. Let's end the sentence here. I want to hire a teacher. So one teacher, not specific. We do not have any idea about the teacher. I'm not referring to one particular teacher. I do not have one particular teacher in my mind, right? It can be any teacher. If I want to limit the meaning of the word and still make it generic, still not refer to a particular teacher, I can do that using some information after the noun teacher. I want to hire a teacher who works at a government school. Who works at a government school? Now, uh, the meaning has been limited. Okay, I've limited the meaning of the word teacher. So before, it could be any teacher from any school, any university, private school, private university, but now I have made it little specific. But the noun is not specific here, right? But I'm talking about teachers from government schools. Still, I'm not referring to one particular teacher, but I'm talking about particular group of teachers, all the teachers that are working in government schools. So any one teacher out of all the teachers working in government schools. You know what I'm saying, right? You can do that. So you can limit the meaning of the word and not make it specific by giving information about the noun using some modifiers after the noun, right? So a teacher who works at a government school is the noun phrase. Okay, teacher is the noun, I is a pre-modifier, indefinite article, who works at a government school is an adjective clause, post modifier. Okay, give me a second, guys. All right, the second type of a determiner is possessive adjective. This is very simple, but again we have a couple of important points about possessive adjectives, so we have to be careful with them. Okay, we'll master them. Possessive adjectives modify a noun by indicating their possession, like who own them, by talking about who own them, right? So we use possessive adjectives, and these are my, your, his, her, our, sorry, this is our, their, and its. These are 7 possessive adjectives. All these possessive adjectives leaving its refer to a possession of a person, and its refer to a possession of a thing or an animal or a bird, just not a human being. All right. So we use a possessive adjective to refer to a possession of a noun. We talk about who that particular noun belongs to, or who owns that particular object, all right, or thing or person. Let's take some examples and understand this as well. We don't want to take his brother on the trip. He does not listen to anyone and create ruckus, create drama, right? We don't want to take whom? His brother. We do not want to take his brother on the trip. Okay, so his brother is a noun phrase here, working as the object of the verb take. Okay, so his brother, we're referring to a particular person, and that person belongs to another person who is him. All right, we don't want to take his brother. Now this particular adjective, possessive adjective, can be replaced by any other possessive adjective leaving its. You can say we don't want to take her brother, we don't want to take our brother, we don't want to take my brother, we don't want to take their brother. All right, it can be replaced with any of the remaining adjectives leaving its. You can't say its brother, because a thing cannot have a brother. All right, a thing cannot have a brother, so you cannot say its brother. Okay, if they are troubling you, call their parents and tell them everything. If they're troubling you, call whom? Their parents. So there is referring to the noun parents, talking about whose parents the speaker is referring to, their parents, right? So belonging to them, parents belonging to them. So a possessive adjective can be followed by a singular noun, a plural noun, countable noun, uncountable noun, any type of a noun. We don't care about that. Okay, their parents, their money, their love, right? We can do that. My parents, his parents, her parents, all right? We can do that. Third, I bought this bike last year. Its performance has been amazing. I bought this bike, all right? This bike, again a noun phrase. This bike, this demonstrative adjective. This bike last year, bike, its performance has been amazing. Now tell me what its is referring to. Its is referring to the noun bike. Its bike, the performance of the bike has been amazing. So its is referring to the noun, it's referring to the possession of the noun bike, all right? The performance of the bike, all right, the performance belongs to the bike has been amazing. We can't use any other possessive adjective here. We have to use its, since bike is not a human being, it's not a person. All right, I bought this car a couple of months back. Its mileage has been amazing. Or you can say the performance of the bike has been amazing. The performance or the mileage of the car has been amazing. You can also do that. Okay. Now, do not be confused between its and it is with the apostrophe, with the upside comma, right? Its is a possessive adjective, and this one with the apostrophe is it is, which is very different, the subject and the verb, right? And this is your hint. If you have this upside down comma, which is basically an apostrophe, understand that it is not a possessive adjective, it is its. Okay. Now, a couple of important points about possessive adjectives. If your possessive adjective is referring to a neutral noun, a singular neutral noun, which is one in number, but the gender of the noun is not clear. It is not clear whether it's a male or a female. If that is the case, use the new singular neutral possessive adjective which is there. It is a modern development in the English language, and that's why we use it. All right. So let's look at this example and understand this. If a person comes before 9 a.m., if a person comes before 9 a.m., their entry is prohibited. If a person comes before 9 a.m., their entry is a noun phrase here. Entry is the noun, there is a possessive adjective. Now, what is it referring to? It's referring to the noun person. Now understand this. Do you know whether this person is a male or a female? No, you don't. So if you use his entry, this is grammatically correct, right? But you're just focusing on the males. You are ignoring females and you're being sexist towards women. And if you say if a person comes before 9 a.m., her entry is prohibited. It is still grammatically correct, but now you're being sexist towards all the men. So that's why we have this singular neutral possessive adjective that is there. If a person comes before 9 a.m., their entry is prohibited, right? If a teacher doesn't help you with any of your doubts, their salary will be deducted. Their salary. Teacher, we don't know which teacher it is, whether it's male or a female, right? So if a teacher doesn't help you with your doubts, their salary will be deducted. There, I can say his salary, I can say her salary, I can do that, and I can get away with the grammatical aspect of it, right? I can do that, but still that's not right? You're being sexist to a particular gender, to a particular community. Don't do that. Use the singular neutral possessive adjective that is there, right? The second point, if you have multiple nouns in a sentence and after that sentence you have another sentence which has a possessive adjective, and it is not clear or it can confuse your reader or listener that which noun out of all the nouns in the previous sentence, which noun your possessive adjective is referring to. If that is the case, if such a sentence can confuse your reader or listener, do not use the possessive adjective, use the noun that is referring to. Use the name instead, okay? So let's look at this example and understand what I'm trying to say. I will train Max and you train Sam. I will train this person, this is the first noun, Max, and you train Sam. But I think it's more important to check his health before training him. Important to check his health, which is a noun phrase, obviously. Health is the noun, his is a possessive adjective. Now you tell me which noun it's referring to, which person it's referring to, whose health. Is it Max's health or Sam's health? We don't know, right? It can refer to either one. Looking at the vicinity rule, it should refer to Sam, but it could refer to Max as well. So it's a confusing situation we have in here, right? In such a situation, use the name of the person that it's referring to. Instead of saying his health, just say, but I think it's more important to check Max's health before training. If it's referring to Max. If it's referring to Sam, say it's more important to check Sam's health before training him. I know you got it. I know you've understood what I'm trying to say. All right. This is really, really important. So when such cases arises, make sure you use the name of the person or the thing it refers to. Okay, one more thing. All right. Okay, let's just use it here only. So you can use an adjective after a possessive adjective as well. So you can say my beautiful. All right, give me a second. Let's take some space. So my teacher, you can say, you can use an adjective in between. You can say my beautiful teacher, or you can say my smart teacher, right? So you can use an adjective after it. You can definitely do that. Okay. The next is demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjective, these are pointing adjectives. We have 4 demonstrative adjectives in English: this, that, these, those, right? So demonstrative adjectives modify a noun by talking about their number, right? Like whether they're singular or plural, whether they're one in number or more than one in number, and if they are close to the speaker, their vicinity of the speaker, whether they are close to the speaker or far away from the speaker. Okay, so this, that, these, and those. Okay, these are demonstrative adjectives. Let's understand all of these, right? This is used to point out a singular noun, one in number, right, which is close to the speaker. One in number which is close to the speaker. So let's suppose I'm here, standing here, and I have a box near me. I'll say this box. Hey, give me this box. Do you want this box? Right? Do you know this phone? Have you seen this phone? All right. Do you want this bottle? Okay. One in number and close to the speaker. This house is way too expensive. The house is right in front of me. I can see it, right? Very close to me. This house is way too expensive. This watch is cheap, right? This watch is cheap. You have a watch, right? Let's suppose the watch is right in front of us, and I'm saying, I'm pointing out the watch. This watch, one in number, it's just one watch, and it's close to me. One in number, close to the speaker. This watch, okay, that. So that is used to refer to a noun which is one in number but far away from the speaker. One in number but far away from the speaker. Singular noun. That is used to refer to a noun which is one in number but far away from the speaker, quite far away from the speaker. So you have to point out that one. Okay, look at that dog. Look at that dog. You are here and you're referring to some dogs here. Oh, that dog, not some dogs, just one dog, right? Look at that dog. How cute is he? How cute is he? All right, that dog, you're talking about one particular dog, and you're pointing your finger in its direction as well. All right, one in number and far away from the speaker. Can you pass me that chair? Right, so let's suppose we can see a chair which is black in color and it's quite far away from us, and I instruct you, go there and get me that chair, which is one in number, one particular chair, one chair, and it's quite far away from me, the speaker. All right, these are used to refer to plural nouns, more than one in number, can be 2, 3, any number, more than one, and close to the speaker. Plural noun and close to the speaker. Okay, so I'm here and I have a couple of boxes right next to me, and I say, do you want these boxes? These boxes. Hey, can you parcel these boxes? Can you hand these boxes to Mrs. Ahuja? All right. So more than one in number, and close to the speaker. These people will ruin your life. You need to stop hanging out with them. These people, I'm talking about particular people, more than one in number, and these are right next to us, close to us, where we are. All right. These people, if they were far away from us, we would say those people. Do not hang out with those people. Those people quite far away from us. Those people, right? So those are used to refer to plural noun, but these are far away from the speaker. So you're here and you see some boxes quite far away from you. Hey, do you know what those boxes are for? Those boxes, like you can see some boxes. Let's suppose you are in a field and you see some boxes on the other side of the ground, and you see, hey, have you left those boxes there? Those boxes, right? Quite far away from you. So this is how we use the demonstrative adjective those, right? We'll take some examples. Okay, we already have, all right. If you want me to take more examples, I can do that. Okay, this man can help you. This man can help you. All right, I'm talking about just one man which is close to me. This man. Okay, let's suppose this is a guy and say this man, right here. This man can help you. Right. That man can help you. Right. I'm just pointing out a man, like we are at a college, right, and I'm referring to one particular man quite far away from me. I say that man can help you. These men can help you. These men, we have some men, we have some guys. These men can help you. Those men, right, quite far away. Those men. Okay. Now, some important points about the demonstrative adjectives. Number one, a demonstrative adjective can modify a noun, can talk about its space. All right, can refer to a noun, can refer to the vicinity of a noun in terms of its space or in terms of its time. So generally, it modifies a noun by talking about its vicinity in terms of space, how close that noun is in terms of space. So it has a spatial relation. But it can talk about the vicinity of the noun in terms of time as well. All right, we have some examples. I have a crush on that girl. So a crush, first noun phrase, a crush, right? Crush noun, indefinite article. That girl, right? Referring to particular girl, right? Referring to particular girl, and I'm here, right? That girl, that girl. Now, so this is a space relation. So this is space, all right? Now, I can also talk about the vicinity of a noun in terms of time as well. I still remember that day. It was amazing. That day. So today is, let's say, 3rd October, and I'm talking about 2nd July, 3rd October 2021. I'm talking about 2nd July 2015. Right? We're talking about that day. So I'm saying I still remember that day. One in number, day, one in number, and quite far away. So I'm here in terms of time, and that day is here. So it's quite far away from me. So this is showing a time relation. Okay. So we can modify a noun by talking about its vicinity in terms of space or time. I still enjoy this moment. This moment referring to the current time. This moment. That moment was amazing. All right, these moments will never come. These moments referring to these times, right? Okay. Second, use a demonstrative adjective and a noun in place of a demonstrative pronoun to avoid confusion. So a demonstrative pronoun doesn't have a noun after it. It just refers to a noun. But if that pronoun can confuse that which noun, let's suppose you have multiple nouns in the previous sentence, and you think your reader or your listener might get confused thinking which noun it's referring to, in that case use a demonstrative adjective and the noun it refers to. All right, look at this example and you'll understand what I'm trying to say and what not to do. All right, last night I cooked pasta and invited some neighbors. Some of my family members didn't like that. So last night I cooked pasta and invited some neighbors. Some of my family members didn't like that. So that is a demonstrative pronoun. It doesn't have a noun after it, right? That it's referring to a noun. But what is it that that some of my family members didn't like? Is it the pasta that I cooked or me inviting some neighbors? My invitation. Which one is it? We don't know. It can be the pasta that I cooked, or it can be me inviting some neighbors. So in this case, in this situation, it is unclear. It is not clear that which noun, which thing your demonstrative pronoun is referring to. To avoid confusion, use a demonstrative, or just let it be and use a noun after it. Use a noun that it's referring to. So I'll say some of my family members didn't like that pasta. If I'm referring to pasta, or if I'm referring to the invitation, I'll say some of my family members, last night I cooked pasta and invited some neighbors. Some of my family members didn't like the invitation, like that invitation. All right, this is very, very important. Okay, so this is about demonstrative adjectives. Let's talk about the next one, which is distributive adjectives. Distributive adjectives sit just before a noun and refer to members of an entire group separately, right? So they refer to the entities of a group separately, and these are any, every, neither, either, neither, any, and both. These are the most common and used distributive adjectives we have in the English language, right? So let's take some examples and understand these. And if the noun phrase which has a distributive adjective works as the subject of a sentence, the verb will always be singular. Understand this. I respect every person on the team. I respect whom? Every person on the team. So we have a lot of people, all right, and I'm referring to all of them separately. Every person on the team. Every is modifying the noun person. Every person on the team. We can have an adjective after it as well. So a determiner can be followed by an adjective. Just understand this, note this. Every person. Neither party seems to be doing clean politics. Neither party. So we have two party, party 1 and party 2. Neither party, none of the two parties, not this party, not this party. None of the parties, neither party seems to be doing clean politics. And after a distributive adjective, you have to use a singular countable noun. All right. In most cases, singular countable noun, or at least singular noun. Just say singular noun. All right. Neither party seems to be doing clean politics. You can take either box, either box. So you have two boxes. Number 1, 2. Any one out of these two boxes. You can take this one as well. You can take this one as well. Right? You can take any of these two boxes. Either box. Will not say boxes. Will not say boxes. If you say either boxes, that will be incorrect. Right? You can take either box. You can choose either person. One person out of the given two people you have. Okay. Neither team. I didn't say teams. If I say teams, that will be incorrect. All right. Neither team deserved to win the match. Neither team deserved to win the match. Neither, not this one, not this one. Every team played well. So I'm focusing on every element in the group. Every team played well. So in the tournament, we had multiple teams. Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D, Team E, Team F, right? And I'm talking about all the teams. I'm focusing on all the teams. Every team played well. Every team. Focusing on all the teams. Every team. Not saying every teams played well. All right. Okay. Is there anything we can talk about distributive adjectives? Not really. Right. They're followed by a singular noun. And if they function as the subject of a sentence, the verb is going to be singular because this entire expression is going to be singular. So, okay, let's clear this. I'll say every person is allowed to sit here. Every person is. I won't say are. Right? Each team has to. All right, I'm not saying have to. That will be incorrect. Right? Neither party seems. This is singular. I can't say seem. That will be incorrect. So hope you've got this. Okay, the last type of a determiner is quantifiers. Quantifiers. So quantifiers are words that modify a noun by talking about their quantity, right? They talk about their quantity, but the quantity is not specific, it is not clear, it's not a particular number, it is a vague quantity. So they modify a noun by talking about its quantity vaguely, not clearly, right? It's just a vague number, it's not a number, it's a quantity which is not clear. Okay, but we do know how much it is. So these are the most common quantifiers we have in English. Some, many, a lot of, a few, the, few. What is the difference? We'll talk about that as well. Much, several, plenty of, little, a little less. So some quantifiers are used with countable nouns. Give me a second. Am I running fast? Yes, I am. Countable nouns. Some are used only with countable nouns. Some are used with uncountable, only uncountable nouns, and some are used with both countable and uncountable nouns. We'll talk about that as well. All right. So quantifiers are words that modify a noun by talking about their quantity. Okay. Now, so how much is it? If I say, let's say apples, or let's say teachers or people, all right, let's say people. So you can have 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, you can have a particular number, right? You can know a particular quantity. But if you do not want to refer to a particular quantity, you'll use quantifiers. So if you say a few people, the number is a few, not a lot, right? And more than a few is some people, a few, and then you have some is more than a few, right? And then you have several is more than some, all right? Then you have many, which is a lot, right? So a lot and many are just similar. And you can say plenty of. So if you're referring to more than several, you'll say a lot of, or several of, or just several, or many. All right. And little, a little, the little are used with uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns. Okay, we'll talk about everything, don't worry. Okay, let's take some examples and understand what quantifiers are and how to use them, right? So example number 1, many students have chosen not to participate in the quiz. Many students. The subject of the sentence, noun phrase, students is the noun, head word many is a determiner, quantifier. Many students, like a lot of students, but we do not know the exact number. All right, if you want to show the exact number, we can do that as well. We can say 100 students have chosen not to participate in the quiz, but you cannot use a quantifier plus a number. You cannot do that. You cannot say many hundred students or some 100 students, the few hundred students. You cannot say that. Okay, many students have chosen not to participate in the quiz. Again, another noun phrase. He has several projects. So after many, some, a few, several, right? It's more than one. You'll have to use a plural noun. Many people, some people, a few people, several people, a lot of people, right? You have to use a plural noun. You cannot use a singular noun after these quantifiers. You cannot say many men or many teacher. You cannot say that. Many teachers. You cannot say some teacher, some teachers. A few teacher, no. So a few teachers, several teachers, a lot of teachers. So after these quantifiers, you'll have to use a plural noun. You cannot use a singular noun, right? He has several projects going on these days. Several projects. Many projects. Many. More than a few, all right? There is not much water in the bottle. Not much water. Water is uncountable. You cannot count it. Since it's uncountable, I'll use much. There is not much, like not a lot. There is not a lot of water. I can also say a lot of. A lot of can be followed by a countable noun or an uncountable noun. It is one of, or I think the only quantifier that is used with both quantifier countable and uncountable nouns. Okay. There is not much water in the bottle. There is not much curd in the bowl. Much curd in the bowl, right? there is a little food left in the fridge. A little is also used with uncountable noun. A little food, there is a little, like almost nothing. There is a little food, like there is something left in the fridge, like a couple of breads, maybe, right? You can have them. A little food. I'll give you a little medicine of your own. I'll give you a little taste of your own medicine. Taste is uncountable. You cannot say taste is. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about quantifiers that are used with countable nouns only. Right. Let's talk about quantifiers that are used with uncountable, and then quantifiers that are used with both countable and uncountable. Okay. So countable only. These are some, many, a few, several, plenty of. Right. Uncountable, little, less, much, and both countable and uncountable, these are some and a lot of. Okay, we have examples as well. Some people, some girls, some teachers, some ministers, some countries, some people do not want to work yet have everything in life. Some people, subject. Okay. Many people, I can say many people do not want to work yet have everything in life. Several people, plenty of people. Right. We have kept a few chocolates for you. A few, not a lot, but a few. The number is not big, but it's more than one. Okay. Quantifiers for uncountable nouns. Little less, much. These are only used with uncountable nouns. Little work has been done about this case. Little work. You cannot count work. She does not have much money. She does not have much money with her. Money, you cannot count it. You can count coins, you can count notes, but you cannot count money. Okay. Much money. Much love. I have much love for you. Much love. You cannot count love. Right. Now, both countable and uncountable nouns. These are some and a lot of. Some people are waiting for you. Some people. Some people. You can count people, right? Plural noun. There is some food left for you in the box in the fridge. Some food. You cannot count food. You cannot count food, right? Some food. A lot of teachers are protesting at the main gate. A lot of teachers. Teachers, you can count them. Plural noun. You need to have a lot of patience. Patience, you cannot count. A lot of money, you can also say. Give me a second. You can say a lot of money has been put into this case. Into this case. Alrighty. Just give me a second. All right. So, righty. Wait, give me a second. Okay. Good. Now, difference between few, a few, and the few. Okay. Few, a few, and the few have different meanings and should be used accordingly. So, let's start with a few. A few means like more than one, but the number is not quite huge, right? It means more than one, but it has a positive connotation. It has a positive meaning, right? It means some, but not a lot. On the other side, few means almost nothing. It has something, but that something is almost nothing. It has a negative connotation. It means not many, like it's the amount is almost negligible, right? It has a negative connotation. The few means whatever that is left, right? All that's there, but the number is still not huge. It's still a few, like it's not a huge number. All right. Examples. Example number one. Only few people live close to me. I have to do everything on my own. Only few people. That means like almost like one or two people, and that's like negligible. Like, and they're not even here, right? So the amount is almost negligible. Only few people, not even like three people, just one or two. Okay, two, obviously more than one. If it's one, we can't say people, right? Just two people live close to me. I know a few people who can help you. I know a few people, like a couple of people, let's say 7, 8 people, five, more than like five or something like that. It's a good number, but still it's not a lot of people, right? It has a positive meaning. Positive meaning, it has a negative meaning. The few. The police locked the few people who were helping him get away. The few people, whatever the number of people that were there, but the number was still not huge. The few people, whatever the number of people that were there to help him get away, get him rid, get him run away. Okay, so the few people, whatever the number that was there, but the number was still not huge. Okay. All right, difference between little, a little, the little, the same thing applies here as well. Little has a negative connotation used with an uncountable noun, right? Negative connotation. Little, almost nothing. A little, something, but not a lot. Positive meaning, positive connotation, negative connotation. And the little, whatever that's left, uncountable. Still, that's not big. There is little curd. So this is the bowl, and the curd is just, almost nothing. There is little curd in the bowl. You can't even it's not even a full of spoon, right? You can't even have a spoonful of curd. Like it's not even that much. Little curd. I have a little honey on it. Or I have a little honey in the box. Let's say in the box, right? A little honey. Like it's something. It's not a huge quantity, but it's something. Or I can say there's a little curd. Like it's something. It's something. It's not like a lot, but it's something. Okay. A little. Little negative. John ate the little cheese left in the fridge. The little, whatever the quantity that was left, but it was not again too much. The little cheese, whatever the amount that was there, but the amount was not big. Okay. All right. Now, the difference between less and fewer. Less is used with an uncountable noun. Understand this. A lot of people use these words interchangeably without even knowing the meaning, what they mean and how they're supposed to be used. So a lot of people use them interchangeably, which we should never do. Okay, less is used with an uncountable noun, and fewer is used with a plural countable noun. I'm saying plural, so obviously it's a countable noun. All right. So both less and fewer are often used interchangeably, which they shouldn't be, right? They shouldn't be. The word less is used to quantify an uncountable noun, right? Used with an uncountable noun. And the word fewer is used to quantify a plural noun. Okay. This is what you have to focus on. Less uncountable noun, fewer plural noun, countable noun. There is less patience in you. There is less patience in you. Patience, like it's not countable. You cannot count patience. There is less there's less anger in you, right? We have less work left for him. Less work, you cannot count work. Less work, I cannot say fewer work, fewer patience, I cannot say that, right? Now we have fewer problems to deal with. Fewer problems, so we're talking about the number, but there is not a fixed number, right? Fewer problems, you can count problems, right? Problems, fewer, right? We there were fewer students in the class last time. Fewer, less, right? There were fewer students. I cannot say less students. I'll say fewer students, right? Fewer, I can't say less students, right? So this is the difference between less and fewer. Now understand this. We generally do not use don't use two or more types of determiners together in a noun phrase. Together in a noun phrase. We don't generally do that. So I'll not say my phone. You cannot say that. This is incorrect. You can't say this book. You cannot say that. This is incorrect. You cannot say this my house. You cannot say that. You cannot say this This some people, you again cannot say that. So we generally do not use two or more types of determiners together. We generally do not do that. But if you start a sentence with one or some or many, right, or a few, right, basically a quantifier, and you use of after this, of, the preposition of, one of, then you can use a possessive adjective after it. One of my, one of your, right, one of his. You can also use a demonstrative adjective after it. You can say a few of these, right, people, one of my friends, right, some of your students, you can say that. So if you start a sentence with a quantifier and that quantifier is followed by the preposition of, then you can use a possessive adjective or a demonstrative adjective as well, right? So hope this is clear. And one more thing, just go to my website, which is www.englishwithashish.com, right? Go to this website and you'll get to know everything about determ. So just check that website out. And that's all about today's lesson, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you loved it. Now I hope you know what determiners are, different types of determiners, how to use them, when to use them, different points about them, important tips about them. Hope everything is clear. If you enjoyed the lesson, give it a like. If you guys are new to the channel, haven't subscribed to it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, become a part of it, press that notification button. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very soon. Till then, keep learning, have fun. I'm out. Namaskar.